A storm is forming over Heartland, one that could change every life at the ranch forever. Secrets are no longer safe. Relationships are hanging by threads. And what's coming in episode 10 is something fans have never seen before. The calm is breaking, and everything we thought we knew about season 19 is about to be tested. The trailer for episode 10 opens with tension already thick in the air. Amy stands at the gates of Heartland, eyes fixed on something, or someone, approaching. A troubled horse struggles in the distance, stumbling like it's been pushed past its limits. We hear only one breath, one heartbeat, then Amy whispers, "It's happening again." That single line sparks a fire of questions. What does she mean again? Who brought the horse? And why does it seem like Amy already fears the answer? This episode moves differently, slower, colder, as if the ranch itself knows something is wrong. Tim watches from the porch, concern carved into every line on his face. He's hiding something, something heavy, and it's clear that the secret has been eating at him since the beginning of the season. It might be connected to the mysterious land deal, the one he denied being part of, the one everyone hoped was just a rumor. But now, whispers return, louder than hooves on frozen ground. Jack feels it too. His voice is calm but sharp as winter wind when he tells Tim, "If this comes back on the family, it's on you." Those words don't fade. They echo. Jack rarely speaks with that kind of warning, unless the threat is real. And the threat this time is closer than anyone expected. Meanwhile, Amy dives back into what she does best, healing. But this horse, this one, fights her touch. Terrified eyes, restless breathing, scars that don't look like accidents. Amy senses the story, but the truth is darker, hidden deep like a wound that refuses to close. The trailer hints that this horse holds the key to episode 10. Not just an animal in need, but a messenger carrying the kind of secret that could pull the family apart. Ty's memory lingers like the northern wind, soft but haunting. Amy still feels him guiding her, especially when she faces brokenness like this. There's one moment where she closes her eyes, places her hand on the horse's mane and whispers, "Help me see what I'm missing." A line fans won't forget because it feels like she isn't speaking to the horse at all. She's speaking to Ty. His shadow lives in her heart. And in this episode, it feels closer than ever. Like something big is tying past and present together. Across town, drama sparks between Katie and Logan. For weeks, their unspoken connection burned quietly. But episode 10 exposes what they've been avoiding. Katie wants to chase independence, to prove she's not just the youngest Fleming. She's her own woman. Logan wants the same, but his path pulls him in a direction that could take him far away from Heartland. In the trailer, we see them arguing near the barn, voices trembling, not from anger, but fear. Fear of losing each other, fear of what comes next. Their story builds slowly, like wildfire, starting with a single spark. Lyndy watches everything with eyes too wise for her age. She senses the tension. She can feel when her mom's smile is fragile instead of warm. And Lyndy has secrets too, small ones she's afraid to speak aloud. The trailer shows her clutching Ty's old bracelet, something she found but didn't tell Amy about. Why hide it? Maybe she fears what it means. Or maybe she hopes it means something unreal, something magical. Heartland Ranch stands under a heavy sky, snow drifting like ash. Horses pace nervously, as if they know change is coming. The family gathers for dinner, but instead of laughter, silence fills the room. Looks are exchanged like quiet warnings. Words are swallowed instead of spoken. Every character knows something is about to break. They just don't know when. Episode 10 is the turning point. The trailer doesn't just tease new drama. It promises revelation. Secrets buried deep are clawing their way back to daylight. Truths protected for years are ready to surface. Friendships will be tested, loyalties questioned, and the heartland we recognize might not survive untouched. And just when it feels like the tension peaks, just when the room feels like it might shatter, there's a knock at the door. One knock. Slow, heavy. Everyone freezes. Jack's eyes narrow. Amy's breath stops. The screen cuts black. Who's behind that knock? What truth arrives with them? Everything we've seen so far is only the beginning. Silence holds the ranch like a fist. No one moves. No one speaks. The knock repeats, this time louder, more urgent. Finally, Jack rises, slow and cautious, each step heavy with the weight of the unknown. When he opens the door, the cold rushes in first, then a face that stirs every memory Heartland ever buried. A stranger stands there, snow on his coat, pain in his eyes, holding a document that could fracture the family to its core. He whispers only one sentence. I think this belongs to you. The paper trembles in his hand. A deed, a signature, a name that should never have been there. Tim Fleming. Amy gasps. Jack's jaw tightens. Tim rushes forward, but the stranger steps back, wary. Like he knows confrontation is coming. And it is. The next moments unravel like wildfire. Tim insists he never signed anything. He claims someone forged his name, dragged him into something dangerous without his knowledge. But Jack isn't ready to trust him. Not this time. Too many lies. Too many broken promises. The trailer flashes rapid scenes. Tim shouting. Amy crying. Jack storming out into the night. Splintering tension. Snapping like frozen branches. Meanwhile, Amy returns to the injured horse in the barn. She watches it closely, noticing patterns in its fear. It flinches at sudden movement, reacts sharply to men's voices, but softens when Lyndy gently approaches. Amy kneels, whispering calm into the winter air. She knows trauma when she sees it, knows wounds that can't be stitched with thread. This horse isn't afraid. It remembers. And whatever it remembers is tied to that stranger. The trailer makes that connection painfully clear. Lyndy steps forward, hand steady, heart open. The horse leans into her like she's a lantern in the dark. Amy watches, eyes shining with pride and worry. Lyndy asks quietly, Mom, are we supposed to help him? Or is he here to warn us? That question lingers like a ghost. Amy doesn't answer. Not because she doesn't know, but because she does. Too well. The next beat of the trailer hits harder. Katie leaves Heartland in frustration. Logan chasing after her. Their argument is intense, raw. She tells him she needs space, needs to find her own life beyond the ranch. He pleads for her to stay, to fight for what they have. Katie stands tall, voice shaking. How can I stay when I don't even know who I am anymore? Logan is speechless, and for the first time viewers see fear in his eyes. Not fear of losing a fight, but losing her. Cut back to Jack. We see him alone in the barn, replaying the stranger's words in silence. He knows Tim hides something deeper than a land deal. There's a past neither of them speaks of, a history burned and buried like coals under snow. Jack isn't just protecting the ranch. He's protecting the future, especially Lyndy and Amy. He takes a long breath, then mutters to himself, If this comes back on her, I won't forgive you. It's not a threat, it's a promise. Episode 10 builds pressure like a storm pressing on the horizon. The injured horse grows restless, kicking at the stall walls, eyes wild like a warning siren. Amy senses time slipping away. She brings the horse outside, snow swirling like spirits around them. She tries one last gentle approach, whispering the same phrase she used with Ty in their hardest days. I'm right here. I'm not letting you go. For a moment, the horse calms. For a moment, peace feels possible. Then a gunshot echoes through the night. The screen in the trailer cuts fast. Amy ducks. Lyndy screams. Jack runs. Tim grabs his coat and rushes toward danger. Snow explodes under hooves as horses panic. The barn lights flicker. Someone is out there. Someone watching. Someone willing to pull a trigger to keep a secret buried. And the stranger? He's gone. Not a footprint left. No trace of where he went. Only the deed lying in the snow like a warning, signed, stamped, and still warm. The family gathers inside, shaken to the bone. No one trusts the dark anymore. No one trusts silence. Jack stands guard by the window all night, shotgun resting near his chair. Amy sits beside the sleeping Lyndy, fingers trembling through her daughter's hair. Tim paces the floor, guilt like a shadow chasing him with every step. And in the closing seconds of this section of the trailer, we hear Jack say what no one wants to believe. Someone's coming for this family. The fire flickers. The wind howls. The ranch holds its breath. And episode 10 is just getting started. Morning comes, but the light brings no comfort. Heartland feels changed, like the storm has already moved inside the walls. Jack hasn't slept. Tim looks like he's running from ghosts only he can see. Amy brews coffee with shaking hands, trying to pretend everything is normal for Lyndy's sake. But nothing is normal, not anymore. The gunshot lingers in their minds like smoke refusing to clear. Rumors begin spreading through Hudson by sunrise. Whispers float around the feed store, the diner, even the vet clinic. A stranger was seen near Heartland. Papers changed hands. A deal forged in shadow might pull the ranch into a legal battle no one saw coming. Some say Tim is involved, others swear he's a victim. The tension in town grows like frost on every window. Quiet, cold, unstoppable. Amy heads to the barn, searching for calm and routine. The injured horse stands still, no longer thrashing but alert, ears flicked, eyes sharp, as if it heard the gunshot too, as if it knows who fired it. Amy feels a knot form in her chest. She runs her hand slowly down the horse's neck and whispers that she'll figure this out, that Heartland won't turn away from a soul in need. But even as she says it, she knows this is no ordinary case. Healing this horse means unraveling a secret someone wants to bury. Katie returns later, eyes red from crying, voice quiet from distance and doubt. Logan follows, slower this time, giving her space, yet unwilling to let her go completely. They talk gently, instead of fighting, about pressure, about growing up, about how easy it is to lose yourself when everyone expects you to be strong. Katie admits she feels invisible, like her happiness is always second to the ranch. Logan tells her she's wrong, that she matters more than she realizes. Their words soften the air, fragile but hopeful, like early spring thawing frozen ground. But peace doesn't last. Caleb shows up with news, real news, not rumor. He found tire tracks near the back pasture, not ranch vehicles. Someone was out there last night, watching, waiting. Maybe the same person who fired the gun. The family gathers around the kitchen table as Caleb explains everything he saw, every detail burned into the snow. Jack's face grows stony, unreadable, until he stands with slow purpose and says, "We're being hunted." Amy refuses to let fear take the ranch. She suggests reaching out to the stranger, to understand what he wants, why he came, why he disappeared. But Jack warns her not to. He believes the man didn't vanish into the dark. He moved deeper into it. And if they pull at the wrong thread, everything could unravel. The ranch, their safety, their lives. Lyndy listens quietly from the staircase, clutching Ty's bracelet. She knows adults think she doesn't understand, but she does, too well. That night, she dreams of Ty standing beside the injured horse, hand resting gently on its mane. He speaks no words, but his eyes are full of meaning. When she wakes, she tells Amy she thinks the horse came to Heartland for a reason. a purpose, a warning. Amy doesn't know whether to believe her or protect her from fear. But the look in Lindy's eyes is the same look Amy once had when she first began to heal. A new message arrives the next evening. No signature, no return address. Just a single line on rough paper. Heartland was never yours to keep. The family sits in stunned silence. The trailer shows Amy staring at the words, Lynn's hand trembling beside hers. Tim swears he'll fix this, that he'll take whatever blame is necessary. But Jack's patience finally breaks. He slams his fist on the table and shouts that Tim's mistakes always come back to haunt the people he loves. Tim fires back, voice cracking with frustration. You think I wanted this? You think I meant for any of this to happen? The argument tears through the house like wildfire, unstoppable and destructive. Amy rushes between them, voice shaking, begging them to stop. Lyndy cries quietly. Katie storms outside, Logan chasing after her once again. Only this time, she isn't running from him. She's running from the chaos swallowing her home. Outside, in the cold dark, she sees something. Someone. A figure standing near the fence line, half hidden by snow, watching, waiting. Katie freezes, breath tight in her throat. For a moment they stare at each other, neither moving, neither breathing. Then the figure turns and vanishes into the shadows as quickly as it appeared, leaving only footprints in the snow. Katie whispers to Logan, "It wasn't just a threat, someone is here." Logan nods, jaw hardening, and together they run to warn the others. Inside, the argument halts instantly when they burst through the door with the news. Fear turns to action. Jack grabs his coat. Caleb arms himself with a flashlight and resolve. Amy pulls Lyndy close, but Lyndy pushes forward bravely, telling her mother that running won't save them, understanding will. And just when they prepare to search the property, the injured horse cries out. A piercing sound like a memory breaking open. Something has been triggered, something connected. Episode 10 is no longer just emotional, it's explosive. And as the screen fades into black, one thing becomes painfully clear. The danger is closer than anyone imagined, and the truth is almost ready to break free. The ranch gathers under the weight of uncertainty, the winter night colder than any before. The injured horse trembles as if it remembers something from a past it can't speak. Lyndy steps closer, bold, in a way only innocence allows, and whispers softly into its ear. Suddenly, the horse turns, eyes locked on the tree line as wind brushes through the frozen branches. Everyone follows the gaze. A shadow emerges. Boots crunch across the snow, steady, deliberate. The same stranger steps forward, his breath rising in clouds, eyes filled with a truth he can no longer run from. Jack raises a hand to stop anyone from moving. Tim steps forward, guilt and fear clashing in his stare. Amy stands behind Lyndy, heart pounding like thunder through her chest. The man speaks with a voice heavy from carrying too much weight.
I didn't come to take Heartland. I came because I need your help.
Shock freezes the ranch for a moment, then confusion, then anger. He explains everything. How he once owned part of the land Heartland stands on. How a deal years ago went wrong, stolen by people darker and more dangerous than anyone expected. His signature, not Tim's, was forged. His name erased. His life torn apart. Now those same people want Heartland, and they'll do anything to claim it. The gunshot wasn't to scare the family. It was to warn him for seeking them out. The horse, he says, was taken from him. Abused, broken, used as leverage to keep him silent. When it escaped, it found its way to Heartland, as if drawn to the only place capable of healing what darkness had done. Amy's eyes soften with fierce compassion. She realizes the horse wasn't just seeking help. It was seeking safety, seeking truth, and maybe even justice. Tim steps closer, ready to apologize, but the stranger stops him with a raised hand. We don't have time for regret. They're coming back. Tonight. The air snaps with tension. This is no longer about land or paperwork. This is survival. Heartland prepares for what's coming. Caleb secures the barn doors. Jack checks the gates with steady, seasoned calm. Katie and Logan stand side by side, no longer fractured, but united by danger. Lyndy stays with Amy, bravery shining through her fear. Snow falls thicker now, cloaking the ground in cold white silence. Then headlights slice through the darkness like knives. Engines hum. Doors slam. Shadows move with purpose. Unseen faces wearing intent like armor. Jack steps forward first, unshaken. The stranger stands beside him, no longer alone. Heartland forms a wall, not of anger, but of family. Strength woven between generations. The confrontation unfolds with slow, burning intensity. Voices rise from the dark, claims, demands, threats. But Amy steps forward, voice calm and clear like a heartbeat in stillness. This land heals. It doesn't belong to fear. It belongs to hope. The words strike deeper than any force. The injured horse pushes forward unexpectedly, breaking through the stall door. Snow explodes as it gallops toward the threatening figures. Not in attack, but in defiance. Hooves pound the earth like a declaration of freedom. The strangers flinch, startled, thrown off balance. Jack, Caleb, Logan move in, seizing control of the moment, forcing the attackers to retreat. Shouts cut through the wind. Tires spin. The intruders flee into the night, swallowed by the storm. The ranch stands steady, safe, for now. Silence settles again, but this time it feels earned. The stranger, breath shaking, turns to Amy.
You saved more than a horse tonight.
Amy places her hand on the horse's neck, and for the first time, it stands calm. No fear, no trembling, only peace. She looks at Lyndy, who smiles with quiet pride. Heartland has always been a place where broken things come to heal. Tonight proved it once more. Inside, the family gathers near the fire, exhausted, shaken, but closer than they were before. Katie rests her head on Logan's shoulder. Jack shares a nod with Tim, a fragile step toward forgiveness. Amy wraps Lyndy in her arms, knowing their future may still hold storms. But tonight, they survived one together. The camera of episode 10 closes on the ranch, silhouetted against morning light. Snow melts into dawn, a new beginning.